Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great Monday out there. Don't know what you guys thought of the race yesterday. Of course, this weekend we had a little something for everyone. You had the truck and the Xfinity and Cup race at Texas. You had the IndyCar doubleheader at Iowa, along with an ARCA race. I think Formula One was in Austria, and it seems like MotoGP might have been in Spain, if I remember correctly. But I only watched the part of the Xfinity race, a little bit of the truck race, and all the Cup race, and highlights of the first IndyCar doubleheader, so I haven't seen the second half. But the Cup race was, all in all, a good show, a surprising winner, and a nice team redemption story there. Not going to go into any spoilers. So, anyway, today I decided I was do just a set review, and it's going to be a small set here, 1992 The Winston by Maxx. You see it's a 50-card collector set. There you see one of the sides of the box. The back kind of has drivers that were featured in the set. A little bit more information there. Maxx 1992 The Winston. So the significance of the 1992 running of the Winston, of course, we know the Winston was the title sponsor of the series back then, but they also sponsored the All-Star race, which is just now, I think it's just now just called the NASCAR All-Star race, but it's went through different incarnations from the Winston to the Nextel All-Star race, the Sprint All-Star race, the Monster Energy All-Star race, and now it's just the All-Star race. But nonetheless, I believe these were done in finishing position as along with highlights, but the big significance, like I was getting to, in 1992, this was the first Cup race on a super speedway held at night. Bruton Smith and the people at Charlotte Motor Speedway installed this lighting system from a company called Musco Lighting that used not only lights but mirrors, and it was a very, very well-lit facility, so I believe most of the racetracks now that have lights installed are probably Musco Lighting. But there you see Davey Allison, who won the race, and we're just going to go through here. I just wanted to show you what the backs of the cards look like. But there you have Davey Allison, who won also in '91. He was the first back-to-back winner of the race. I believe Jimmy Johnson would later manage that feat. Ken Schrader, who was driving for Rick Hendrick at the time. I'm just going to hold on to these. We have Bill Elliott. No, I'm not going to hold on to these. We have Bill Elliott, who's driving for Junior Johnson. Richard Petty, who would make his final All-Star appearance in this race. Darrell Waltrip, driving his own team, number 17 Western Auto Chevrolet. I think a lot of these cards would look good autographed because there's space right over in here where a driver could sign and not go over his own likeness there. Jeff Bodine, who's driving for Bud Moore. Michael Waltrip, who was actually the Winston Open winner. That is the transfer race, or the last chance race, if you will. He was in the Chuck Ryder Bahari Racing Pennzoil Pontiacs back then. Mark Martin driving for Roush in the Valvoline Ford. Morgan Shepherd was driving Wood Brothers Racing Sitco Ford. Of course, Matt DiBenedetto now pilots the number 21. There's a good look at Davey Allison's car. Very nice, iconic paint job there. Ken Schrader. Kind of a little bit of a throwback to the way Rusty's Kodiak car looked. They tried about 3 or 4 different paint schemes on Schrader's car. Bill Elliott's Budweiser car had that white line kind of highlighting it. That's how you could differentiate it from previous Budweiser Fords. Of course, the font on the number 11 is slightly different as well. There's Alan Kwiecki, his own car, Hooters Restaurants Ford. There's Richard Petty. There's Darrell Waltrip. I wonder if we had Alan stick to the back of one of the cards, because I don't remember seeing his headshot in one of the little lineup earlier. So we have Jeff Bodine there. There's Michael Waltrip. That was always a sleek-looking car. Very clean, not a lot of contingency decals on it, or associate sponsorships for that matter. There you see Mark Martins. You see more of the associate sponsors there on the back and the contingency decals on the front. So it can clutter up a paint job just a little bit. Not too terribly bad. There's Morgan Shepherd. Qualifying for the All-Star race in previous years would include, I believe it was 3 laps, and in one of those laps you had to make a pit stop. So being an All-Star event, they wanted to include the crews. There's the Winston Open. Michael was the winner that year. The Winston was also the first race in modern times to introduce stage racing as we know it now. And that started, I believe, in 1987 when they ran the race in 3 segments. Made it a lot more exciting. But back then, the first segment was longer than the last segment. Now the last segment is longer than the first one, so they kind of reversed it on us a little bit, but it still adds a little bit. There's Darrell Waltrip. He spun out in the final segment. Victory Lane, Davey Allison's crew. But as you see, there is no car and no Davey. We will get to that here in a moment. There you see Kyle Petty. Drove the Stabco Pontiacs. I do have a feeling I did skip over Alan Quicky's card because these are sticking together ever so slightly. Ricky Rudd driving for Rick Hendrick in the Tide Chevy. Rusty Wallace driving Penske's Miller Genuine Draft car. Ernie Irvin, who apparently shaved his mustache for this picture, or maybe Kodak just didn't want it on there, I'm not sure which, but this would have been when he was driving for Morgan McClure. Terry Labonte, who had returned in 1991 to drive for Billy Hagan in the Sunoco team. Harry Gant driving the Jackson Brothers Skull. There you see Dale Earnhardt. This was the first time he failed to finish a lap in the All-Star race as he crashed out on the last lap. Dave Mader, many of you wonder, well, what was Dave Mader III doing in the All-Star race? Well, his team, Melling Racing, had won at Daytona in 1991. So back then, not only winning drivers, but winning car owners got in the race. Dale Jarrett got in because he was a winning driver in 1991, got his first career win at Michigan with the Wood Brothers, but in 1992, this was the first year Joe Gibbs Racing was involved. Hut Stricklin transferred from the Winston Open. So there you see Kyle Petty, Mellow Yellow Pontiac, runner-up on this night. Ricky Rudd, Rusty Wallace. And Rusty's car was another one that didn't have a lot of contingency sponsors on the front. The Penske cars really don't to this day. There's a very iconic number 4, Ernie Irvin. There's Terry Labonte's Sunoco Ultra Oldsmobile. He drove for Billy Hagan. There's Harry Gant's Skull Bandit. Harry would run in 3 more All-Star races after this. Well, he retired in 94, you say, so wouldn't that make 2 more? He did run in 93 and in 94. I don't think he qualified for the All-Star race in 94 as he had to run the Open and crashed out. But in 1996, he replaced Bill Elliott, who had broken his leg at Talladega. So in 1996, for you trivia guys, Harry Gant made his last Cup start in the All-Star race. Dale Earnhardt. Of course, we just said he crashed out on the last lap. There's Dave Mader's Melling Performance Ford with the Maxx logo on the cover. Maxx sponsored Rookie of the Year back then. Mader did make an ill-fated attempt to run for Rookie of the Year, but of course, Jimmy Hensley ended up getting 92 Rookie of the Year. Here you see Dale Jarrett's Interstate Batteries car for Joe Gibbs. Bobby Allison owned this number 12 for Hut Stricklin. Davey was the pole winner for this race, so he did get that part of the victory lane. He was not in the post-race victory lane. There's the final pace lap. Really see a nice crowd there. Turned out at Charlotte. There's the start of the second segment. And what they would do at Charlotte, they would invert the field at the start of the first segment, so the guys that finished last in the first segment would start up front. And it looks like, in my opinion, Jeff Bodine there kind of lagged behind the first segment so he could start up front in the second segment. Of course, Dave Mader, Richard Petty, Kyle Petty, they just finished in reverse order there. We talked about the crash at the finish. Kyle Petty and Davey Allison came together at the finish. Davey had a very, very hard impact. If you've seen the race yesterday and seen how Truex hit the wall, very, very similar angle. But Davey was very lucky to survive that crash. And of course, he did win the Winston, but this is not his victory picture. So again, we'll go to the last picture there, or the last card. Look at the back of it. Very nice. I'm going to thumb through these real quick just to make sure that... Yeah, there's Alan Quickie. We did skip over him. He was stuck to the back of the Bill Elliott card. So we did have all 50 cards in that set. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this set. I've really honestly never looked through this set myself. It's just been kind of sitting in my box of sets and wanted to have something for you guys to enjoy. So since the All-Star race was this past week, I thought this would be a nice complement to that. As you can see, again, it's just 1992 The Winston by the J.R. Maxx Company. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you again later with another opening of one of my birthday boxes. So I appreciate you guys watching. See you later today. Have a good day.